Reprints are part of Magic life, and sometimes you have to live through it to truly understand what reprinting certain cards does to the value of your collection. Well, here we go again. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for tuning in and catching me probably on a Friday when this video was filmed. And in the background, you'll see we're having a fireside chat today. See, it's a fire. I know it doesn't really look like a fire, but that's as artistic as I get. That's the way it's going to have to roll today. You don't watch me for my artistic skill. I'm not drawing beautiful paintings in the background, but some of you guys are pretty artistic and send me pretty amazing stuff. So thanks again. That's amazing. I will email later. Very cool stuff. So thanks again for those who send stuff over to the channel. It's amazing. So welcome back, everyone. Today, in kind of a chill down Friday, you're probably watching this on a Friday. If not, it's 10 years from now. This was filmed on a Friday, and it was not filmed in front of a live studio audience. I know, right? So every time Wizards of the Coast does a reprint set, every time, without fail, you, the player, if you own any of these cards, you're affected. Your prices go down. Now, in most cases, if it's a single card and you lose half your value, it's not a big deal to you. You don't really tune in. But other times in Magic's history, people have lost a lot of money. It still happens now for people who might buy a play set of Ragavan and it gets reprinted and they bought it like $120. It gets reprinted and goes to 60 and you lost half your value. I know that hurts. That doesn't happen as often anymore, right? Because most people are playing Commander now, which is a one-of, but it still happens. And this conversation came up in my head because I was talking with some friends as I was sorting through some binders. And I realized, this has happened to me a few times. And I thought I would share one today. Because in 2014, Battle for Zendikar came out. We had the Eldrazi coming back. We're all excited. Pretty amazing time. We had the new Priceless Treasure, the full art lands coming in. But more than that, Battle for Zendikar was bringing back full art land foils, which we'd only really had, I think, in Unhinged and Glue, like the unsets had them. But up to that point, we didn't have full art lands. I think back in those days, I had some friends who would actually send off basic lands to artists, pay a few bucks for each land, and get them extended outward, hand painted. I mean, it looked amazing. Some of those artists out there have crazy skills. So underrated. And they love doing them uniquely each time. But I look back, I just want to share this with you here. Let me pop one open here. So here you have full art lands. Foil full art lands. They're beautiful. Amazing, right? And they were expensive. Now, I have about 300 because I planned on building a number of decks with them. But I had to pay the price. They started at like $4. They got as high as $8 to $9 each. And I bought them throughout the whole gamut. Some expensive, some cheap, with the intent of using them for a number of years and maybe selling off a collection of them later when I got tired of them or whatever happened. But within a couple of years, yeah, you guessed it. We had Oath of the Gatewatch, and from there on, we've had full art lands. They've been in every set. So these lands lost like 90% of their value. They're a little older now, so some people do like the artwork on them. They do get bought once in a while, but they don't hold nearly the allure they did back in 2014. So I lost, 300. So we're talking what? A couple $1,000 at least? And that's just in one little pocket that I've shown you. Just one binder. Here, let's look at, let's get the flipping going. I know, horrible. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Like I said, in some cases it affects some people more than others. One card may not be a big deal. But at some points, a foil Brain Geyser was like $20, $30. And it's been reprinted. How many times now? How many times has Brain Geyser been reprinted and it's just pounded the price? But at the same time, Wizards of the Coast still got richer, right? They still made money off of those reprint products, made off the back of the demand of those cards. You have to understand, guys, in case you didn't. I'm sure you do. But if you don't, we'll explain it to people. If there is an increased demand but a limited supply, the price goes up. And when you meet that demand and increase the supply and the demand is met, prices kind of drift down a little bit. And when things end up in a landfill somewhere, you nuke the price and everything collapses if you overprint it to that extent. There has to be a certain restriction on supply to balance everything out. Wizards actually hasn't found the balance yet for reprinting. I have lots of friends who've lost thousands of dollars on anything modern because they wanted a playset, they wanted it now. And yes, you're right, they didn't have to buy it right now. They could have waited 20 years for the reprints to come and bought them for like $5-10. I get it. But really, things rotate pretty quickly in modern. Not modern, sorry, standard back then. Like Noble Hierarch and stuff when it was $100 a card. When you had Birds of Paradise, you know, guys, some of these cards were really expensive and they've been reprinted and reprinted. And they just lost value and lost value. And Wizards hasn't found that nice equal zone yet. Because I look at some of the cards coming up for reprint. And I'm actually really glad that I don't own that many. But I do have a couple of Shieldreds that I bought. Because I wanted them for decks now. And I only bought 2. Remember I did a video earlier where I said instead of buying some collector packs, I just bought the cards I wanted. Right? I bought the exact cards. I went with singles. I don't feel bad about that. But I know better. I've learned very hard lessons about investing in anything that's not reserve list. It will get reprinted. The question is when. If the card is good and the demand is high, you know it's coming back quicker. Some cards have very low demand, even though they have the potential to be good, and those are the kind of surprises you get. Like could happen with a card like Mox Tantalite. It could have cards linking on later, making it a very deadly card, but right now, it's next to worthless. It's pretty low. It's a couple of bucks. And that's where we find ourselves every time with a reprint. And this is why the consumers out there have been losing confidence in Wizards. They're kind of ducking out. They don't want to be there for the next reprint. They want to buy the reprints when they come, but they don't want to be there for the loss of value of their collection. And this is that balance that Wizards really has to strike with the players. They've got to find a way of providing reprints, absolutely, but I would let it happen more organically, put a certain amount in, an actual defined amount of reprints into a set, some kind of way of saying, hey, we're going to put like an extra 2,000 copies of this card to like insert them as a specialty slot if it's a really high demand card. So you're not nuking the secondary market, but you're easing cards into it, right? Enough that the price drops 20-30%, but will slowly recover as players buy it. I just think there's got to be, I mean, you guys probably have better ideas than that. I'm sure you'll put them in the comment section and say, Mox, man, you're not thinking this through, bro. You could do it this way. And I can't wait to read those. You got to be open to things. And I hope Wizards is. I hope Wizards of the Coast actually thinks about this stuff. Because I'm looking at old collections like this, Battle for Zendikar cards, Oath of the Gatewatch with the Wastelands and stuff, the Eldrazi back in the day. And you look at how many of these things got reprinted. And you realize how much value was lost when you buy that many copies. So my lesson to you all, do not overbuy. Never dive in too hard even into the singles because you know they're going to come around again. Get what is necessary for the deck you're building and know that it could go to zero. I know I say that all the time. A lot of the YouTube content creators say that. Like, don't be afraid if it goes to zero because you'll get the play out of it. You'll get to enjoy the card, but understand you're walking into a pit where you're going to lose money. And back in 2014, I didn't realize how much I could lose. I didn't realize how many thousands of dollars would be lost by not being too greedy, thinking I could have these for years. I had to come to understand that they are going to reprint if it's popular. Completed bundles, anybody? Yeah. This stuff will come around again. As soon as they realize they've lost money and left cash on the table, they will nuke the market to a certain degree to make sure they can capitalize on the cash and the demand in the secondary market while meeting the customer needs of those players after it. And everyone wants a deal. Everyone wants it, but it comes at a cost. And it's not a cost to Wizards or Hasbro in the terms of the reprints they're doing. It comes at the cost of the other side of players who bought them firsthand and actually brought the price up in the first place. Because if nobody found a use for Shieldred, it wouldn't be that expensive of a card. But we know it's awesome. Players use it. That increased the demand, which increased the price, and not enough supply. So they've already started reprinting it. And that will continue on with cards like Ragavan, Dockside Extortionist. I actually don't think the Jeweled Lotus will go that far. But it'll get cut in half this time. Which means anybody who bought the foil extended amazing copies that were inside like the Commander Legends original, they're going to lose so much value. It's going to happen. The question is how fast, how quickly, and how much demand there is will actually show you how much price loss there's going to be. It's interesting times, but when you live through it, and I've been through it a couple times, and I've learned each time. I've learned a little bit more, and I've cut my losses, but you're talking, this is 2014. We're talking 9 years ago. This is it's a long time to have to learn those lessons. And some of you guys who go into this, you might think, oh, I'm going to buy 4 of this, I want 4 of this, and you spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and within a year, 2 years, you lose half the value. You're like, I'm out. I'm done playing this. This is ridiculous. Because Wizards isn't there to protect your value, and they haven't figured that out. They haven't, or they don't care to figure it out. Take your pick. I can't wait to read the comments on this because it's going to be crazy. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This is one of those things, just a little lighthearted chat. I want to see what people think about this. How do you feel knowing that any card you buy that's not reserve list right now, when it comes around, it's going to get reprinted? And are you cool with that? Not the fact how would you fix it? Yeah, there's a question. How would you fix it? I want to read that stuff. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for hanging out with the Fireside Chat Friday. Hope you guys are having a good weekend. And thanks a lot for allowing me to entertain you and chill out with my content today. And I'm looking forward to the Hot 10 Saturday Modern to see how many cards got sold. And of course, the reserve list Hot 10s on Sunday. And that should be very interesting as well. And then, hey, we got the live stream Sunday at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. Can't wait to see you guys there. Everyone have an awesome day. Play some Magic, kick back. And yeah, think in the back of your head, how much money did I lose the last reprint? Because we got Commander Masters coming up. And there are going to be a lot of reprints in there. A lot of reprints. Yeah, it's going to hurt, I know. Wait, I'm going this way. And a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of the channel. Thanks for tuning in every day. Thanks for supporting the channel. Love those thumbs up and the comments. Patrons make the world go round. Without them, this content's not possible. Patrons rock the world! Dun-it. 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 Ah! Welcome back to the end of the video. You've survived another week at work, and you deserve an applaud. Thanks for making it through your work week. Thanks for contributing to the economy. And if there are kids in the background, why aren't you doing your homework, cleaning up and helping around the house? And yes, you should go outside and pick up dog poop. And that's just the start of your day. Get going, man. Help your folks out. They help you every day. Remember to cheer your family on and be respectful to each other because it's an amazing world. And family and friends just make it that much better. It's awesome, guys. So, what do you guys think? We're at the end of the video. I'm thinking of all kinds of crazy stuff right now about the reprint set. And I'm thinking, when I looked at all the losses I had, and there's a lot. There is a lot over the years. I mark these down too a lot of the time, just to remind myself. That was one of the big ones. That was thousands of dollars I spent buying those full art lands. And then when it got nuked, devastating, guys. Devastating. Even the regular full arts from Battle for Zendikar were like $1 a piece. Then they went to like 50 cents, 40 cents, 30 cents, 20 cents, 15 cents, and 10 cents. They just, everything collapsed. Crazy stuff. But that's how the cookie crumbles. Be prepared for it. And thanks for hanging out, man. Thanks for listening to a guy ramble on a Friday about helping out the family and be your own cheerleader, man. Cheer yourself on because we survived another week. And some weeks are rough. And we get to do it all again. That's the best part. Any mistakes you made, I have a chance to correct them like in the Matrix. Alright guys, have an awesome day. Enjoy the weekend. I will see you guys Saturday in the comments section and Sundays for the live stream. This is just awesome. You guys are amazing. Remember that. You're amazing. And in the comments section, full art, foil land.